Hey, what is going on YouTube? Mike here back with another video. Now at this point, the Pixel 7 is pretty old. It launched back in 2022, but if you're thinking of getting it right now in 2025, then you might be curious as to what you're getting with the smartphone. And for this one, we're just going to go over some key points as to what you should expect with the Google Pixel 7. Now we do cover a lot of other smartphones here, including other Google Pixel phones, so I will link them in the description below. And with that said, let's get started. Alright, so first and foremost, one of the biggest reasons why you might want to pick up the Pixel 7 in 2025 is its price. It first launched at around $600 in the US and around £600 here in the UK, and this was a point in time when Pixel phones were still pretty much priced lower than competing flagship devices, unlike Google's recent smartphones, which are considerably more expensive right now. With that said, the Pixel 7 is much more affordable these days, and I've seen it go for around $400, $300, and even $250 if you know where to look. So that's one big consideration if you're planning on getting this smartphone, as it will save you a ton of cash and is still a cut above most cheap smartphones on the market these days. Now, of course, as with most Pixel phones, one of the biggest reasons why you should get the Pixel 7 is the camera quality. Now, it's not the most impressive out there in terms of camera hardware, but Google's computational photography does a terrific job of making sure that your photos look pretty much great. I've always praised the Pixel 7's cameras in previous videos, and while it's not perfect, it's very ideal for point-and-shoot scenarios. Most of the time, you do know what you're getting with this one. And like I've said for other Pixel phones, it gets things mostly right, especially when it comes to contrast, the overall saturation of your photos, and even in low-light situations, it does a very capable job of giving you mostly great results. Now, video quality, on the other hand, is not the best. That honor still goes to phones from Samsung and Apple, for example. But considering the prices that it's going for nowadays, this does mean that you're getting a terrific point-and-shoot camera phone for not much money. Now, unlike a lot of other Android smartphones out there, the Pixel 7 does come with a decent amount of software support, and Google says that it will provide up to 5 years of major Android upgrades for this one. So it originally launched back in 2022, and it came with Android 13, and with 5 major software upgrades down the line, you are getting up to Android 18 on this one. So if you get one today and you upgrade the software to Android 16, you're still getting up to 2 years of Android software upgrades with this one. Google does have a habit of rolling out a decent amount of new software features, so you're getting stuff like Magic Editor and Circle to Search, to name a few, and of course, regular monthly security updates. So yeah, it's an affordable day-to-day phone with a great camera and decent software support. The Pixel 7 makes for a very ideal device. With that said though, it's not a perfect smartphone after all, and there are some shortcomings which we have to point out. One being the performance of the Tensor G2 chipset inside. Now in real world usage, you're not going to notice significant problems with the Tensor G2. You're going to be able to multitask on your phone, browse social media and the internet, and for all intents and purposes, it just works regularly like you would expect any half-decent smartphone to. With that said though, in terms of benchmark scores, it's not the most impressive out there. I mean, it falls behind the competition. And while you will be able to run most games on it, it will have trouble with graphically intensive titles. So I really wouldn't recommend running games like Genshin Impact on here, as it won't be a very ideally smooth experience due to the limitations of the Tensor G2. Now this also ties in with the battery performance. Now I have had mixed experiences with the battery on the Pixel 7. Throughout the years, some software updates have heavily impacted the battery on this phone, and while the phone in general can last a day with most usage scenarios, if you use it for data and GPS and navigation, or if you take a lot of pictures throughout the day, then you might find that the battery is not really that capable of lasting the entire 24 hours, and you might need to charge at least twice a day. It's also prone to overheating, which is one of my biggest complaints when using the phone before. Unlike the newer Tensor chips, which kind of fix the heating issues on Pixel phones, the Pixel 7 does have a problem with getting a bit too warm, especially if you're using it in the summer, so that's one major consideration to keep in mind. Additionally, the battery only charges at 20-watt charging speeds, so it's not the fastest out there, and you will have to devote some time to waiting for your phone as it finishes to charge. Another major complaint among most users is the fingerprint scanner on here. Now it is an optical one, it's not an ultrasonic scanner, so it will be slow, and there are a lot of times when accuracy might be less than ideal for most users. And yeah, I've had a bit of trouble at times when using the fingerprint biometrics on the Pixel 7. So if this is something that really factors into your daily usage, then you might want to go for one of the newer Pixel phones. So yeah, to sum things up, the Pixel 7 is a pretty decent phone for everyday usage. You are gonna get software updates on this for at least some time down the line. It takes great pictures and is a lot more affordable now. With that said though, it's not really meant for performance heavy usage, and other quirks like the biometric hardware as well as the overheating issues might be a big issue for potential buyers out there. And while I've had a mostly love-hate relationship with it due to the battery and the heating issues, I really enjoyed using the camera on the Pixel 7, and I did get a lot of use with the software features on this device. So yeah, that does it for this quick video. Let me know your thoughts about the Google Pixel 7 in the comments below. Don't forget to check out other content here on TeamViewer Y. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.